Hello, this is Mrs. Groves. I'm going to go over the homework for 7.3, which is solving systems using the elimination method. And in this case, it was either addition or subtraction. I'm going to go over the 3 even problems that you had to do, 4, 10, and 12. And then the 2 word problems that I assigned. Word problems are very important in this chapter. So number 4 shows you how you should be showing your work. Notice I don't scrunch it into a small little box. You've got plenty of room. Use your paper. Clearly show your work. When you show your work, you're not going to get confused. So in this case, because I have opposite coefficients for y, if I add down, y is eliminated. I get x equals -3, y equals 29. Make sure that you check, especially the even ones, so that you know you have the right answer. Number 10. Notice here in number 10 that x has the same coefficient. So we cannot add these because then we get x and x is 2x. So we multiply this one by -1. And then we're going to get all opposite coefficients here. So we have -x, -3y equals -4. We add down. We get y is equal to 2. We plug y equal 2 into either one of the equations. I used the second one because I thought it was easier. So I got x is equal to -2. And don't forget to do your check. Number 12, a lot of students get number 12 wrong. Again, we have y. They have the same coefficients, so we have to multiply one of the equations by -1. When we add down, we get 6x minus 5x, which is x, and -10 plus 10 is 0, and x equals 0 is a valid answer. We plug in the 0 into either one of the equations. In this case, I took the top equation, and I got y equals -10. And then you check. All right, you had 2 word problems to do. And you're going to see that my word problem right here right? And this is an odd one, so you should have been able to get the correct answer on your own and figure it out. And I'm going to keep it big like this because I don't want you to copy this answer. I want you to go follow along with me and write some notes and strategies on how you do this problem. Okay. Sometimes for these systems, it's easy to write the key information in kind of a table like this. And they're talking about in the old days of cell phones, we had to pay for ringtones. And it could have monotone, so that was just very boring, or it could have many tones to it. So we have 2 customers, Julie and Nate, And Julie bought 3 monotones and two polytones and spent $12.85. Nate bought 1 monotone, 2 polytones, and spent $8.95. Now, if you didn't get this problem correctly, I advise you to go and watch this YouTube video and make sure you understand how to do these word problems. So based on the question, you wanted to find out how much the ringtones cost. So you define 2 variables. In this case, I defined X, which is the cost of the monophonic ringtone. Remember, units is dollars. Y, the cost of a polyphonic ringtone, is dollars. So then you have an equation for Julie and an equation for Tate. So Julie bought 3 ringtones, and we don't know how much they cost, so it's 3 times X, and 2 polytones, and we don't know how much that was, which is Y. So the first equation is 3X plus 2Y equals $12.85. The second equation is for Tate. He bought 1 monotone and he bought 2 polytones and he spent $8.95. Now, in this case right here, you can see that we have our Y variable. It has the same coefficient. So in order to use the elimination method, we multiply one of the equations, in this case, at the bottom one, by -1. We get these 2 equations. We solve for X, and we get X is $1.95. Then we solve for Y, and we get Y is $3.50. Make sure to use that handy dandy calculator to check it and answer in words. A monophonic ringtone costs $1.95 and a polyphonic ringtone costs $3.50. So that's the strategy to solve all the word problems, and you will be doing word problems throughout this chapter and the remainder of the year. The second word problem that you had was twigs and flowers. So you should have been at least able, for this problem, to write down the key information. They said a twig, they're doing a flower arrangements, is $1. A flower is $3. You had 9 objects, so you don't know how many flowers and twigs you had, but you had 9 objects and you spent $15. So in this case, we're not looking for money. We wanted to find our X and Y as the number of twigs and the number of flowers. You have 2 equations. This equation, the top equation, is for the number of objects. You had 9 objects. You don't know how many were twigs and how many were flowers. So X plus Y equals 9. Twigs and flowers is 9 objects. Then you have an equation for cost. A twig is $1 and flowers are $3. So your second equation is X plus 3Y equals 15. You then notice that I rewrote it here. You're going to solve. Here you're going to have to multiply one equation by -1. When you do that, you get y equals 3. Then you find x. Well, if there are, y is 3, so if there's 3 flowers, there must be 6 twigs. So your answer is 6 twigs and 3 flowers were bought. Now, my expectation when you're doing these word problems for homework is you should be able to at least write the key information. You should be able to define the variables. Defining the equations takes practice, so you may get stuck there. So what you should do is leave blank space to go over, and when we go over the problems in class. And for this 42A, I'll give you a moment to write this down. And you can always go back to this YouTube and watch it. So, at this point, that's a review of the 7.3 homework, what my expectations are for doing word problems. It's now time to hand it in and go to the next activity. I'll see you in a bit.